On this episode of the Bozo Podcast, the boys stink in pink. Nathan explores his fear of the ocean, and Dan shares his underground movie expertise. Welcome to the Bozo Show.
It's the pink episode.
It's the pink episode because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month, guys. Make sure you take care of your titties and get them checked out so that you don't have any lumps there and have cancer.
And you know, guys, feel your balls.
Yeah, that's true too.
Guys, feel your balls.
The breasts of the crotch. The breasts of the man.
Yeah, or some would say the balls of the chest.
That's true.
Chest balls.
We both have two of them. Men just have them down low and ladies have them up high.
Yep.
That's how testicles evolved.
My testicles don't make milk.
Well, not the same kind of milk, but they do make milk.
Honestly, actually, yeah, it applies a lot more than I even thought it did. Yeah.
Dude, you never been milked before?
Welcome to Breast Cancer Awareness video.
Awareness Month, guys.
Yay!
Woo!
So everything's pink. I donated my Kirby plushies. Put some of them in the background.
Look how sleepy he is. He's me. He's my spirit animal. He's snoozing in the background.
I'm honestly so down to have just color-based theming videos.
Well, what did we do so far? We did aquarium episode or ocean episode. We did or that's what I did the first episode. No, maybe I didn't. I don't
aquarium,
remember.
Ocean.
We did one where it was like Japanese it was pixel art. We did a pixel art episode.
Yeah, that's true.
We did a fire episode where it was fire. That was last week. What was the other two?
Vaporwave?
Oh yeah, Vaporwave was one. I had like a lava lamp up on one of them and something else.
That was true. One of them was lava lamps.
And then didn't we do like a video game one, or was that the pixelated one? I have no idea.
Who knows? I have no idea what.
I'd have to go back and look at the first 4 episodes. I don't know. But it's
pink,
the pink episode. It's pink time.
I like the pink, dude. This is my first time wearing my ethically sourced. Definitely not like $2 bought online.
Mine's not ethically sourced. This is fucking seer merch. Not OTK seer.
Canceled.
Seratic, our friend.
Yep.
Yeah, I bought a nice jacket because he sold merch once, and he has this cool little logo, that Sebem Logo Man design.
That is true. Mm-hmm. All of everybody's little groups all tied together.
All tied together. It's like we're one big family.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Oh, one big Austin streaming family, even though none of us are successful.
Mm-hmm.
One day, though.
Speaking of family, one of our family members
died. No?
Well, me
got older.
Who died?
I don't know. I was trying to finish your sentence. I thought we were like doing a thing where we're like in each other's heads. And I was trying to finish your sentence.
Why would I want to?
I don't know. Maybe someone died.
What segue was that?
Someone died.
No. I wouldn't segue that way.
But I don't know. It was your birthday, though.
It was my birthday.
You're one step closer to dying.
And I'm okay with that. Because there's
all existential last week.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, like I feel like this is the boring part. I kind of want to skip forward like a few years. Like give it like 3 or 4 years.
You don't fuck with the mid-20s? This is when you like are experimenting in life.
No, I want to get into my mid-20s.
You know,
I'm still early 20s.
That's true. I guess like when you skip college, you like the early 20s are just kind of like, all right, when can I become an adult sort of thing? Right?
Yeah.
Because like you get the party in college and you get to still be a kid for like 4 years, and then like once 23 hits, you're like, oh fuck.
To be fair, we're still doing a decent amount of partying, but
true.
I do,
not the same kind of parties though.
Yeah, but I just have to work. That's the main difference.
Yeah.
Versus like I guess technically I don't have to, but like it's one thing when you're in college and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna be accruing like debt. Mm-hmm. Because it's like that's what you do in college, but it's another thing for me if I was to just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and get debt for no reason.
Yeah, while not earning anything out of it. I mean, yeah, you gotta make your money. That's what being an adult's all about, is trying to survive on your own.
That's one thing that always felt crazy is sometimes I'd be talking to people that like were in my grade levels and stuff, and like I already like pretty early on dropped out and was like working full time, and I'd have friends who like they'd be talking about all this money that they're spending, taking out loans. I'm like,
dude, it's fucked up.
I'm like, you don't have a job? I'm like, yeah, I don't plan to get a job for a bit. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money you're building up there.
Dude, that's why I had the cheat code, because caddy money was coming in and it was nice. Mm-hmm. That's how I bought my computer.
Yeah, I know. I just started editing for Stans. Now I blew up. I don't know nobody.
You know how it is. You know how it is. Little clout tracer, little clout dropper. Not chaser. Little clout advantage taker, because now you work for big Stans.
The biggest, and as we all know, biggest clout possible, working for Nathan Stans,
baby. My goat.
I support Nathan Stans.
Bro, we went swimming last Wednesday.
That's true. We did go swimming last Wednesday.
Our friend has like 5 cats. Like, it's kind of sick. And one of them's named after me.
That is true. Have we not talked about, there is the Dan. I guess you're.
Okay.
I was gonna, for some reason, my auto instinct, because we're talking about people, is not to say your full name, but your YouTube channel is literally Dan Corona.
My name is Dan Corona. Yeah, it's very public information. It's been my name since basically I started. It went from my first ever YouTube name was The Gaming Madman. Mm-hmm. Then I went to TJ King, and then I became Dan Corona. So that's like the evolution of my YouTube names.
And the cat is exclusively referred to Dan Corona. The full title.
They don't call it
Dan.
Our Tap kind of calls it Dan.
But I feel that's to personify.
Yeah,
I feel like,
fair.
especially when talking on like through text, if we mean you, we'll say Dan. If we mean the cat, we'll usually say Dan Corona.
Yeah, that's true. So basically what happened was my friend Tap has a cat named Mac.
Yep.
And Mac was a cat that was supposed to be named after Noah. Mm-hmm. But Noah said, no, I don't want you to name the cat after me. He refused.
That's true.
So the cat's name is Mac, and then like parentheses potato chip, and then Lang, which is Noah's last name.
So one namesake cat already, and then Tap got another cat and decided to...
Well, she reached out to me, and she was like, hey, can I name a cat after you? And I was like, okay, well, if it's anything like Mac, who's like one of the sweetest cats, or at least when he was a kitten, used to be. He's kind of a little scaredy cat now.
No, I think he's a scaredy cat, but he's very sweet still.
He is still very sweet. I think he's just like doesn't like get along well with the other cats because there's 4 others now, and
Mac
so he just keeps to himself now.
Mac just has a little anxiety.
Yeah,
but like once
anxiety.
I start petting him, he's just like,
he's
sweet boy. You can like do big hugs and holds. He's not gonna try to like get out.
Yeah.
Like I can literally just like hold him and he'll just like sit. You know what I mean? But
so yeah, basically I was like, if the cat's anything like Mac, sure, name it after me, and then I'll have a sweet little like son, like little cat.
Yeah.
They get the cat, and it's a Sphinx cat. Like,
bald.
So it's bald and has no fur, and it's this ugly little mole rat skin bag, and I'm just like, oh god. So the cat that I'm named after is this naked. Fucking, it doesn't even nice to pet. It's just warm skin. It's really weird.
It is like you're like petting warm chicken breast.
It's like you're petting a nutsack. That's what it is.
Yes,
it's very much
similar.
Nutsack, like just without the fun squishy balls inside.
I will say not Mac. Dan Corona is very sweet.
He's actually a sweetheart.
He's very sweet.
And you get used to the ball sack skin.
And he like purrs very loud compared to like any other cat.
He's got no insulation, so the noise just goes. It's not He's not a soundproof machine.
I'll start petting him, and then like, especially because he's bald, like he's like actively trying to absorb your warmth at all times.
Yeah.
So like he will like if you like go or you hold him, he will like push his neck into your shoulder, trying to like maximize all the heat transfer.
He's always trying to get like wrapped up in a blanket and stuff because he's got no fur to keep him warm. But when we went over last Wednesday, we went over to go hang out in the pool and then get dinner after and like see our friends because we haven't met up in a
people
in a
like
while.
to hang out. Call it
it's
a crime.
The summer, and all of us in our original friend group of Austin love the pool. So we all go hit the pool and then hang out afterwards. So they have Gonzo, who is Zach, his cat, who is just an old grimy bastard.
He's geriatric,
old war veteran, PTSD ridden,
grumpy cat for sure.
Grumpy little bastard. He's still sweet, but he will definitely mean mug you. He'll be like and growl.
That's his thing. Like even when Zach picks him up, he just growls.
He doesn't like being picked up.
He just doesn't like
growls at you.
Yeah,
but he doesn't like bite. And he doesn't have, he's declawed, which is not good for cats. That's like bad.
That might be a reason why he's a little grumpy.
Maybe. But he was a street cat that Zach adopted, so it's not like Zach's family declawed him. He just was declawed from the beginning. So he can't attack you because he always try to hit you with his claws or scratch you, but he doesn't have claws, so he's like harmless.
He'll slap you though. So
even if he's angry, you can still get in on him and not be scared. But that's cat number 3. Cat number 4 is Nova, who is a black cat who is
very long, like fur though.
Very tall. It's a very big cat, but she scrunches up and hides under beds. But she's also a sweetheart. They really got lucky because every cat they have is like super sweet, which is
They're
crazy.
not trying to actively kill each other most of the time,
or scratch the shit out of humans.
Yeah,
because some cats are like evil. They'll like scratch the fuck out of you.
That's true. Actually, I don't even know if I mentioned this. When I was in Missouri, they just had like a dog run in between two of the houses that was just a cat in there, and they're like, the cat just started to scratch everyone, so now we just leave it in the dog run area. And the cat's like super chill. Like,
maybe it's a barn cat. It just wants to be outside amongst the animals.
Yeah, but they don't trust it around the animals too, so that's why they keep
it alone?
Keep it in. Yeah, it's literally like a
little Satan
3
cat.
foot by 3 foot with just like a Snoopy dog house in the middle of it, and the cat just kind of like...
That's the type of living being that needs to be in like a solo flat in New York City alone, just away from the rest of the world, just locked away. But then cat number 5 of this apartment, it's really like a 3-bedroom apartment or something.
Yep.
Cat number 5 is a cat I've never met before, and its name is Kawhi, and it's another black cat. I think it's Casey's cat, I want to say.
Yes.
It's Casey's cat, and Kawhi is such a sweetheart.
That's true.
Kawhi is the newest cat to this apartment, and it's also the sweetest cat, I think, in the group. Because Dan will get a little. My son gets a little bit of a whiny ass bitch sometimes.
Yeah, he's a vocal cat for sure.
Yeah, but Kawhi was like, "Oh, hello, you're new," and then walked right up to me, and I just hung out with the cat for a while. It was sweet.
Part of me just misses when we were in the Gerald house. And there's the 4 cats.
Oh, yeah.
Just all together, because I just love them all. Edward was the shy cat, but he's like super sweet.
And Mona's a fat bastard.
Mona, she's just like a teddy bear. She has no brain going on. And it's more like a sound effect. Like you'll squeeze her and she just goes... And it's so cute.
She'll squeak like a squeaky toy if you squeeze her.
And then obviously Maya and Gonzo.
Gonzo was a menace in that house.
Yeah.
He would moan. He would keep me up at night sometimes because he would just sit in Zach's room and just start meowing over and over and over again, like all night. Oh, it was bad, especially when Zach was like gone or something.
That's so true. Gonzo, and apparently Gonzo had like a stuffed was it German Shepherd.
Oh yeah, it was like his toy.
Yeah, and like if he couldn't find it, that was another thing that would set him off for like hours.
Dude, he would
just meow like, and meow.
It would be worse than meowing. He'd be like howling. He'd be like so sad. He'd be like screeching.
No, he really sounded like he's an old cat, and he sounds like he'd go.
It literally sounds like he has PTSD, and his like friend from war just died, and he's having a flashback.
And then you open the door, and there's just Gonzo just standing over the stuffed animal, and it's just like, "Are you okay?
What are you doing, little bro? Relax."
And then once you leave him, he'll just go back to looking at the German Shepherd stuffed thing and meowing at it. It's just like, I don't know what.
That cat is something else. That cat's a freak.
Yeah,
I don't know
for sure.
I do want to get a cat eventually, though.
I don't know which one I want to get first. I guess if it's a really long time and I can't hold out, I'm gonna end up getting a cat just because like easier to take around places.
Do you want a cat and a dog?
Ideally both.
I do want both too.
And I'd probably want to get the dog first, but I'd wait until I have my own like confirmed living place.
I think strat is to get, for me at least, a black lab puppy or chocolate lab. I really want like a Labrador puppy and raise it as my fucking sidekick. And then once he's like 1 or 2 years old, get a orange kitten, tabby cat. And then the dog, who will be older, will make the cat be like normalized around dogs.
I see.
So then they're friends. They don't hate each other, hopefully. And then
that's fair. Yeah.
Once the lab and the cat are a little older, then I get a corgi, and then I have 2 dogs and a cat, and that's the dream.
The in between. The corgi is like the medium-sized animal.
The corgi will come in with energy and cause a ruckus, and then the 3 of them will be happy together. It'll be fun.
I think if I get a cat, I'm gonna want him to be like a travel cat. Like I want to be like I have a leash for him.
Yeah.
And like he would like ride on my shoulder type deal.
Nice.
Like I want that.
Like the lady, have you seen the lady in the subway who like picks her cat up by like the front 2 paws and then slings it over her shoulder, and the cat's just chill and it just hides
I
up,
have
like,
not,
hangs
but
on the
there's
shoulder.
a bunch of random videos of people doing like tricks with cats. Like one person would hold their hand up like this, and their cat would like jump and snag on that way.
Oh, you've seen the one
like
where she goes like this, and then the cat jumps and grabs onto her hand, and she just like twists her arm, and the cat like whips around and gets in it, and she holds it like this. Oh, it's crazy.
I want to teach my cat to do shit like that.
Acrobat cats and just fucking whip them into our arms arms from a standing position.
Travel cat though, that's the type of cat I want. For dog, I don't care what. Like he could be a sleepy dog.
Dude, I want
sleeping all day.
I want like a black lab that's just I can take anywhere I go because I could take it to work and it'd be fine. And he just follows me around all day and we just hang out together. And then it's like just fucking sidekick, comes with me everywhere, hangs out, loyal pooch. And then once I like get more settled into like a permanent home, then like cat comes into play, because moving with a cat is like, I feel like they value their spots in like a house, and if you're changing up where you're living a bunch, then they like get freaked out every time you move.
Yeah, that's fair. My thing is, recently at this past like week, one thing that's been like stuck in my mind a bunch is actually because there's a potential, I don't know, we'll see, for the channel that we both work for to be doing a lot more videos. The amount of money I could be making from it could be a lot higher. And so I've been thinking for the last week about just like how much I want to do tiny homes. I want,
oh my God.
I'm like, it's still going to be super far down the line. Even if I'm doing like maximum work for like a year and a half, I wouldn't have enough money. But like after 2 years.
Dude, you're going to end up leaving us with higher rent because you're going to go and build a tiny home.
No. I'll build a tiny home and then we all live in it. And the rent is super cheap.
Not much of a tiny home if there's 4 people crammed
We'll
into
just
it.
all sleep in the same bed.
Okay. We all have the same bedroom, but we all have computers and offices.
We'll commute.
What do you mean commute? Commute to where?
Somewhere else.
We're going to keep all our computers, all this fucking bullshit at...
We can have outside desks.
Yeah?
We'll get like little tarps to cover our PCs.
Oh, that's good. That'll work.
We'll work out in nature.
What if we all just build one tiny home each on the same plot?
We could do that.
Can you pay for 4 tiny homes?
Can I pay for 4 tiny homes?
Yeah, we're not going to be able to afford it if you're the only one with money.
Eventually, I can
Maybe
pay
if
for
Bozo
4
Show
tiny
does
homes.
well, we get tiny homes on the same plot, and we each have our own house, and then we like half the sets in your house, half the sets in my house.
Imagine how cute it is. It's like a Ken Barbie thing. We both come over little tiny homes that are like, they're like matching, but like one's like neon green and we're like, one's like neon orange, one's neon blue. We open our door, we're like, good morning, Dad. We do a little walkout.
And then we set up a fence, and then our dogs can run around, and our cats can go on like a leash or something and run around.
I feel like everyone at this point has talked about it, but like I'm down to do compound, like the Ken compound. Well, the last time I didn't say the last name, but the compound where it's just we can get everybody on the land together. We all just build our tiny little homes.
Dude,
why not?
I can't remember what I feel like. I had a dream once where like, oh no, I was talking about this was like a thing I was like talking about with my viewers or something. I was like, we're gonna enact Dan Corona Town, and like I'm gonna build a house, and then we can all build houses in the same and create our own neighborhood, and it's definitely not a cult.
Not a cult, not a cult. I swear. I really would like to do that though, and
yeah, just with what land? Like,
I mean, we can. There's honestly, I think where we are right now, not like in our exact neighborhood, but like the area around it. I feel like there's like places where there's like barely any homes, but like 20, 30 minutes out from here, which is not far for like
the land's
owning your own
definitely
home.
bought up though, no? Like by companies, they just haven't built anything on it.
Yeah, but like a lot of them just buy to hold until development starts, and then depending on the company or person that.
Well, so we just buy a held property. That's gonna be expensive.
I don't know. You know that like all land is owned.
Yeah, exactly. You got to buy from somebody.
Yeah, but land's not like the most expensive part. Like we know how much it normally costs. Like it's not going to be like that's already like part of the idea.
You also have to find someone willing to sell.
Yeah, but I think there are people who are willing to sell.
You're not going to get it in a good area that's going to be fun to live in. It's going to be in the middle of fucking nowhere.
You don't know these things. I haven't looked very far into it either, but I just feel like compared to most other places, people buy and build houses.
I feel like it's a fair assumption to make that like the land is going to be super fucking expensive. And then you have to build the infrastructure for the houses, then the bit to build the actual house.
It could be expensive for what land is in terms of price, but like especially if if the land's worked on and nice, it could be expensive. If the land's not developed like what you're saying, that tends to be pretty cheap for what it is, and it could be expensive in terms of land, but maybe not expensive in terms of the overall cost of building a house. Like it might be like $5,000 or $6,000 of the house building process is just the land, but most people don't care about like a one size like the size of one house plot in undeveloped land is like not expensive.
Yeah, but we're gonna need more than that because we're gonna.
Well, it's a tiny house, but we could build two. We could. If we
Do
want.
we really want to be that on top of each other though? We want to be a little bit spread out and have our own like yards and stuff.
Well, sheesh, Dan. Well, how about we go and find ourselves a nice plot of land
Buy
after
an
this,
acre,
then?
and then we get all our friends to build tiny homes on it. We have a streamer community.
We can have admission. We could do an HOA. We could
Do our
charge
own
the fuck out of all
True.
these.
I'm gonna make Noah pay so fucking much money in HOA fees. It's gonna be crazy.
This is how it starts. The meter reason, like, wait, we can get everybody to move in. It's like, wait, we can charge everybody.
Fuck them over.
Yes, we fuck them all over. We get all the streamers
Welcome
in.
to Bozo Town.
Yep,
You're gonna
yep.
pay.
We're like, what are they? Not the Fine Brothers.
Oh yeah,
Like
those rats.
who try to copyright the word react. We're gonna be like, oh yeah, streamer community, and then we're like, we're gonna fuck everybody else on HOAs. Like, oh, you're too loud at 2 a.m.
Oh, $500, please,
$500
please.
fine.
Like Monopoly, just a
Yeah.
random high number.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they actually got the copyright of React, what would people call it? Like the content, React content. Like, what would you call it?
Well,
would you just switch it to reactionary, or like is that like still under the copyright?
No, reactionary is probably still fine. I mean,
like
let's see,
it's the streamer meta.
first time watch through. It could be watch
Yeah,
through.
I guess so. Like the React meta would have to be called something different, no?
Yeah, it would be the
Observe.
the
observe
observation meta. It's the election observation commentary.
The observe and elicit a response meta. That's a bit of a mouthful. What do we call it? O-A-I-A-R. What does that spell?
Wow.
O-A-I-A-R.
O-I-E-R.
O-I-E-R. The O-R-E-R arc or era of
Eric.
React. Oh, wait. Can't say that. Cancel. Fucking Fine Brothers, you dumb motherfuckers.
I don't even know
Stupid-ass channel.
why. Like, why did they think that was?
Because
possible?
they're fucking mad with power, ego idiots who created a successful YouTube company and have millions of dollars. They think they're above everybody.
They were so like, yeah, guys, they're so confident when they announced it. They're like, this is gonna be a great step for us, you know.
You know, they treat their fucking talent like shit too.
Everybody who was on the show,
like that one girl, Leia, whatever the hell her name is, she like had like a little bit of a crazed arc because of them.
I don't even know the specifics. I just know that like anytime I've seen like random people who were like, oh yeah, I was in Kids React, or I was like, apparently a big thing was just like they never let them say what they actually wanted to say, and so like a lot of the cut was just stuff that they were like, I don't believe this.
Well, I remember this one street interview of like they found a guy that was on it, and he was just like, no, it fucking sucked, like fuck that shit or something like that. He was like, fuck the Fine Brothers. What a fucking era. The old YouTube shit was crazy.
I want to go back to 2D animation Newgrounds.
I want to be 10 years older so I could start a Let's Play channel and be a fucking millionaire by now. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I was saying. I want to fast forward. Give me like a little time skip. This is the grind era. Get me out of the grind era. Get me into the
success era.
era.
We have to grind to get to the success era. But one day it'll all be worth it, maybe. Who knows? Or we're doing this and it's a fucking huge waste of time. We're going to be poor until we're like 60.
I'm going to hide this from my grandkids. I hope you never find this.
We're going to private all the videos once we're old and gray, so you never see this, grandkids.
Oh, you know what? There's probably a good amount of stuff where I'm going to be like, imagine having to be like, do you private your videos when you're like grandpa age and you're like, at this point,
probably not. I'd be proud of my legacy. Kidding me? Or hopefully I will be.
If it makes enough money, I guess at the end of the day.
No, because it's passive income for the rest of your life. You can just pass it on to your kid or something.
I do like the idea of like a very real like documentation. Like I think it'd be cool to have like a thing to go back to like my grandparents or something, and it's not just like a collection of their favorite memories.
Yeah, it's like, look when I was young.
Like,
look at the jokes I was telling.
Just like a 20-year-old just like not giving a shit, like saying something, and you listen to them now and they're like completely different, and you're just like, damn, you are not the same dude.
Even if you try to like private all your stuff, like you're probably in enough of other people's content where they can still find you.
That's true.
Like imagine they don't see this, but they see the latest Tierlist Telephone off the meds video, and they're hearing me talk about how a thumbtack is sexually gratifying or something. If you haven't seen the video, it's basically they do this thing where someone gives the person in front of them, like the telephone game, we whisper in someone's ear and then the word gets all fucked up. They give the person ahead of them a category, and they all use the same pictures to make a tier list based on the category that the previous person gave them. So someone before me, I think it was impossibly Eve.
I think so.
She gave me the category of how well do these images, like would they how sexually gratifying are these images? And the images were all just like knives and razor blades and thumbtacks and like coins.
It was
just
mostly
random bullshit.
Office supply
I think
stuff.
that's what the category was. That's what the overall category of the images were. Yeah.
But everybody in there got a different prompt for the same pictures, and when you finished, you get to choose the next person's prompt for the same set.
Yeah, it was funny because after that episode, I think they only did 2 episodes so far. Seb was like, "Yeah, we gotta elicit like a no cum rule because everyone's just everyone has."
They have too much faith in the process for at least that one step, because they don't tell them ahead of time what's going on, and so a lot of people, as like when they get there, they're learning the rules for the first time, and then at the very end, they're just like, "Oh, by the way, now you get to choose the next person's thing."
Yeah,
and they just put them on the spot. And
everyone goes sexual. Everyone's like, "Oh, wow, like how much do this jerk you off?" Ha ha ha. And like, I'm at fault too. I think my category for the next episode is spoiler exclusive details here. I don't give a fuck.
This is not released.
I think I said how fast will or I think it was like, how fast will this make you come or something like that. It's like literally the same exact bullshit, something like that.
I don't even remember.
Like which one comes the fastest? Which of these images would come the fastest? I think was my like category for the next episode, which will come out in like a month or 2 or something. I don't know. They usually do it every 3. Every 3 guests they have on the main show, they bring them back for a tier list telephone.
Yeah.
So
once a month.
I think they're doing pretty well. I saw a short of theirs today that had like 11K, so very much on par with the shorts views that we're getting on our best shorts, at least. Some flop, some do really well, which is just name of the game.
It's just throwing enough darts at the board,
throwing shit at the wall.
One of them will stick.
Hoping something will stick.
You'll get a bullseye. I've gotten
one bullseye in my career.
It'd be so funny if this channel just ends up being like, we do long form videos still, just because that's the recording process.
Yeah.
But it's just the shorts that make the money.
That's literally the plan.
The plan's just the shorts be the main. I think something about shorts making money, especially, is just so mind-boggling, because it makes. I get the concept, but at least when a YouTube video, you see an ad and you're like, that's this video making money. But shorts, it's more of like a collective amount of views equal.
The reason why shorts are so powerful is because people can watch like 100 fucking shorts in like 5 minutes, whereas like a YouTube video, you got to really like be grasped by a thumbnail and get into it. But if you're on the short feed, it's like the video just plays immediately and you're getting a smidget of like whatever content pops up.
And so people end up watching YouTube longer on shorts than
which is
than
weird.
long form. But that's just like, it's because everybody's on TikTok and stuff nowadays. So that's like, you'll watch like, most people watch like 1 or 2 YouTube videos at a time.
It's the indecisive motherfuckers who don't know what to watch when they sit down for Netflix. So they just go on a TikTok and just get a little bit of every kind of content you could ever want.
Oh, I'm in that nightmare right now though. For like the past like week, I've been searching desperately for like in my downtime for something to watch. And I've exhausted it.
Oh, I always have something. I'm never running out of shit.
I always get to this stage, like it happens with YouTube, it'll happen with like a TV show or something. Like I'm at this point with YouTube where I'm like, I'm not just going by like auto recommended, but I'm in my subscribers like list, and I'm like going down, just like nothing right now that's coming out in the past like week I've been wanting to watch. And so I'm just like, what do I do?
I don't even watch new shit like most of the time. It's like, well, I do. I watch like Northern Lion, like Library of Laterno stuff. That's like the only YouTube I really watch, or like the occasional like Sidemen Sunday. It's like a once a week upload. If a Ludwig video looks appetizing enough, I'll watch it. I'll watch their podcast, The Yard. But if I run out of stuff to watch, it's like old YouTube compilation of insert YouTuber here, like Game Grumps, Achievement Hunter, Fitz, Swagger Soul stuff. Like, so I'm never gonna run out of stuff to watch. And then if I'm really, really like bored of YouTube and over it and don't want to watch like TikTok or anything, then I'll go to like an app and be like, okay, what's the next show I want to watch? Because I literally before this year, I've watched like I think 2 shows so far this year. I've on average watched 1 piece of actual media content a year, like only like TV show, like series. Like I'll finish 1 series a year basically. I'll watch like the occasional movie, but like in 2020 it was Breaking Bad. In 2021,
Breaking Bad's a good one though.
I don't remember what I watched in 2021. 2022 it was the first season of House of the Dragon, maybe.
Sure. I don't even know what that one is.
Well, that's the Game of Thrones like secondary thing. In 2023, I watched Severance. It was only 1 season though.
Severance is cool though.
That was good. So yeah, I just really Better Call Saul. So I guess I did watch
Better Call Saul's banger.
I watched 2 series last year.
Alert.
Yeah, so I really don't watch that much TV.
In the past week, I've probably spent a collective like 2 or 3 hours scrolling through best movies of like 2023, 2024, just trying to find anything to watch. And I'm just like, I don't care about any of these. I'll go down like anime lists.
I've got some good niche movies if you need them. All right, I got a list. Like most of the movies I see are like stuff that I know is going to be a banger. Yeah. Like, especially because like at one point in like last year, my TikTok feed was just like movie clips, and that got me to watch like Good Will Hunting. I think it's Matt Damon.
Oh yeah, good. I can't speak. It was good though.
With Robin Williams. And that shit was like a good ass movie. That shit made me cry a little bit.
No little tears.
I think that TikTok also got me to watch Interstellar. I think like that was 2022.
That's the one that you've always
also made me cry. And then I have a like list of movies I want to watch from TikTok recommendations, but very occasionally will a TikTok movie clip page like get me to actually watch the movie.
I don't use TikTok, but because I've like opened the app like once or twice to like look at stuff that we've posted or like other people have posted. I've seen 1 movie recommendation from TikTok, but I followed through with it and it was really good. Late Night with the Devil, I believe. It's like a small indie horror like film that came out either this year or I believe last year. Yeah. It was just really good.
Dude, if you want
look it up.
My sleeper pick, my like go-to sleeper pick movie recommendation for like the super like film people who like don't care what it is. It could be like some random backwoods like French indie shit and they'll still watch it. Yeah. Is a movie called Burning. It's a Korean film.
Interesting.
And it's a slow burner, but once, no pun intended, because it's called Burning. But once you get to the end and it starts like the like plot starts like getting there, it's like, holy fuck!
Is like that one of the TikTok recommendations that?
No, this is my college professor at work. I'll give you a short rundown of the plot.
Without spoiling. Give me a synopsis.
A small synopsis without spoiling like what happens. It's basically about like a Korean kid in their mid like 20s, and like Korea is having a problem with like what's it called, like same thing Japan's going through, where like the youth is just not the population issues where the youth ain't just they ain't fucking, they ain't having sex or whatever.
Hey, send me in, I'll be like Rambo.
Yeah, get me in there. I'll make some half American half Japanese kids ASAP.
Godspeed, brother.
Godspeed. But basically like this, he meets this girl and then she's like going away for a while, and so he like watches her place while she's gone, and then she finally comes back and she met this guy on her trip. Like I don't think they're dating, I think they're just friends, but he like likes her. Yeah. And this guy's like a fucking Chad, right? He's this cool guy extraordinaire.
That's me. I'm Giga Chad.
And he starts hanging out with her and the guy, and like they might be dating, but he clearly like doesn't care about her as much as he does, and he's kind of like a piece of shit. And then they have like one like night at like one of the guys' farmhouses or something, where they're all drinking, smoking, and they're like really good friends, and you're just like, you're trying to see like, is this like a love story? Like, is the guy like gonna get the girl or whatever? And then the movie, like, this is like it's a 3-hour movie, so it's a very slow burn, but it's shot really well, very cinematically done well. And you're just sat there like
the entire
trying
time
to put the pieces together, and then all of a sudden the girl disappears, and the plot twists, and it goes in a different direction.
Like, it's cooking now. It's cooking.
So that's where I'll leave it. I'll let you watch the rest of the movie to see what happens. But it's if you don't have like ADHD and zoomerness, you can definitely get into this film and it'll eventually it'll click like what's going on, and then it's like, oh dude, it's so good. Like it's a Korean film, so it's not you have to watch the subtitles, but
it's like Parasite.
Yeah, exactly. It's
same experience.
I don't know if it's as good as Parasite. I've never seen Parasite, but it's like one of the better Korean films I think out there.
That's sick.
Yeah,
watch it.
It's really good.
I was trying to, this is entirely random and I didn't do a good job. During that, I was trying to think of like a rhyme rap about you giving a synopsis. But I was going to be like...
What rhymes with synopsis?
Dan gave me a synopsis, but it was not obnoxious. Take Dan's recommendation and put it inside your pocket. Because you will want to watch it after he gives you the synopsis.
Leave in the comments if that flies. Pocket rhyming with synopsis and obnoxious.
Well,
does that work?
It's I think it could. Listen, go play it back. It wasn't that bad. Don't play it back though.
Keep yapping. I'm gonna run up on your block. It.
Block bitch. It, bitch. Boom, 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 boom,
mic drop.
All right,
solar flares go off.
What is your number one biggest fear now
in the world?
Like in the world, do you actually have like a fear?
Not, I don't know. Not like a
fear of
specific one.
heights, fear of the ocean.
No.
Really?
Not like a traditional one, I don't think.
I feel like I don't like normally experience the fear of the ocean. Like I'm not gonna like look at a picture or like, oh, somebody's swimming in the ocean.
It's behind you! It's behind you! It's behind you!
No, but if I'm like in a giant pool of like body of water and I look down and I can't see the floor. See the bottom. It just gets darker.
Yeah, like the North Sea. You ever see those? I guess you're on TikTok, but you ever see the North Sea videos and it's like they play that creepy music and then like you look into the sea and it's just jet black and you can't see shit, like the Arctic Circle sort of stuff.
That just makes me terrified. Like
that's scary.
But yeah. So I don't. Maybe you don't count that as fear and stuff, but like I think about that shit. I'm like, that's terrifying.
I wouldn't like if I were out at sea on a boat. I would like. I'd be scared of more something like a rogue wave. Do you know what those are?
No, I'm assuming you just mean like it's just like a big fucking wave.
There are. You're exactly right. There are big fucking waves that happen in the sea sometimes that scientists don't know what causes them.
They're just like, hey, sometimes shit just gets fucked.
I'm not even kidding. Like you know how people are like, oh, a sea monster came and wrecked this ship. Like. Sometimes those stories are just rogue waves.
Yeah.
Like it's legitimately like a scientific term for these giant massive waves that happen and they don't know why. They don't know what causes it. Like it's not like an earthquake or tectonic plates or anything. It's just sometimes like the fucking currents hit correctly and a giant wave forms.
Lines up.
And oh dude, it's so like imagine you're on a fucking like military cruise liner or something, or like some sort of boat.
You just look up and you see like a 5-story high,
literally like a 10-story high wave just like goes over your entire boat and you flip over it. Like, oh my god.
No, I'm still more scared of I'll be in a lake and I'll look down with goggles on.
And I'll be in a lake.
I just don't like not being able to see the bottom.
The worst thing you'll get in a lake is like a snake or something and that'll be on the surface. It won't be underwater.
It's not it's just it's not like I'm not thinking like what's in there. It's just the fact that I can't see it. I just get immediate heebie-jeebies.
That's so weird.
Immediate. If anything, one thing that I can't tell if I'm be more or less scared. I think I'd be more scared. Middle of the ocean, looking down, but you can see just like a little bit of like seaweed coming up, like just barely at the top.
Why would that be scary?
Dude, don't know why.
Also, the ocean's way too deep. You would never.
I've done it sometimes where like if we're out on a boat or like, which I guess both ocean and lake. If we're out on the boat and we're far away from the shore and I like goggles when I swim because I don't like getting shit in my eyes.
Yeah.
And so I'll always be wearing it. Sometimes I'll look down and then I'll realize that like, oh, the only thing I can see is the boat and everything else is just blue under there.
Yeah.
Terror.
That's weird.
Like dread. Adrenaline. Like adrenaline will start pumping throughout my entire body. And
we used to have a creek, not like a traditional creek. It was basically like an inlet that goes out to a bay, and the bay goes out to the ocean. So it's like pretty wide, and it's probably like at max 10 feet deep in the middle. But we used to swim across it and like just while towing a rowboat. Basically like the older cousins would be like, we're going to do it. We're going to swim there and back. Like, baby, let's do it. Cause it was like probably like a good 30-minute swim there and back. Right.
Big challenge race.
Yeah. So it was like a thing that like the 15-year-olds would swim with, we'd all have life jackets on, but they would swim and they would have a rope pulling a rowboat with the little cousins who like got tired.
Yeah.
So like we would all start out with like the big cousins, like my cousin Ryan and my older brother Christian would be swim with the rowboat, and then as like my little cousins started getting tired, it'd be like, all right, get up into the rowboat, and then we'd touch the dock on the other side and then swim back. But if you try to like stand up, you can slightly touch the bottom, but it's like muck and like
I know
like,
what you mean.
like,
it's not. I hate
muscles.
that feeling. Yeah.
So when we got older, we bought one of those like the trampolines, the inflatable trampolines. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
They're like, it's basically like a giant big inflatable orange thing.
Yeah.
And it's like a donut, but on top of the donut there is the trampoline fabric that is just like attached to the
so
inner
you can
tube.
put it in the.
So you can put, and you can attach a rope to like a hook and then put it on an anchor, and then it sits in the middle of the creek.
So you just have a trampoline in the middle of the creek.
Yeah, basically. You have a water trampoline that you would basically take like a kayak or something out to. We would shuttle multiple people back and forth on one kayak so that we didn't have like 6 kayaks attached to the thing. And then we would just like bounce around on it, play games on it, and then like jump in. Which we would be wearing life jackets, but when you jump in and you have that downward force, sometimes your feet touch the bottom and you get a little bit of the muck, and it's like the wettest, goopiest like
it
sludge.
sucks.
That is like, you touch that and you're like, you get the skeebie-jeebies, but it's not like
that for
I'm
sure.
not like scared looking down into the water. Like,
yeah, I don't consider that. I consider what I was talking about before like a actual fear. Also, I have like a pretty similar thing where we'd go to like the vineyards because one of my family members, they like have a vineyard and they make wine and stuff.
very LA thing.
But they have there's just like a tiny like reservoir that might have been like 20-30 feet by like 10 feet 20 feet that was just like essentially immediately goes down, just filled with water,
just for drainage for the little grapevines.
Yeah, if they need any emergency water, just to like, it's just there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And they just have like a wooden platform that they just had floating in the middle, like essentially like 6 or 7 pallets, and then like a diving board that was like just like nailed down. So it was just, you just climb on top, and if you stand on the end though, sometimes like you can almost like tip it.
Dude, that shit's so much fun. Like,
we do King of the Hill. Somebody
like
would stand on
floating
top,
docks
people
like
would try
that?
to climb up, and they'd be like shoving people off of it.
we had not us, but like the neighbors towards like the end of the creek, of the inlet, had one of those, and we always were so jealous. But then we got the floating trampoline, and we were like,
no, that's way better. The floating trampoline is way cooler.
It's
that feels like a Mario
tall.
Party minigame.
Yeah, literally. We would play like, try to push each other off and shit, like last man standing sort of thing. And then we'd play this game where like you have to name a word that rhymes, and if you freeze for too long, then you have to jump in, and then like last man standing wins. Like, we would just make up all these games.
There was too many things where it'd be like, there's a game about like guessing like sodas or something. You'd be against the
categories.
wall.
Yeah, categories.
I was just like, what? I'm like, what is this?
Or they called it some people called it toothpaste, and some people called it fruity tooties or something like that. I don't know what you call it, but it's just categories. We used to do it in the pool at like my cousin's house, where like everyone holds onto the wall on one end, and the person on the diving board stands at like the front of the diving board, the one not over the pool. And then they would name, it'd be like, what's the category? They give a category. Okay, you pick something in your head, you discuss it with everybody. So that you can't cheat. and then you go against the wall, and they start naming shit. And if they name your thing, you have to try to silently swim across the pool, get to the other side.
I love that fucking game.
No, you know what it was? They stood at the front of the diving board over the pool where they could see you.
Yeah.
And if they guessed, if they peeked, basically, and no one was moving, then they had to take a step forward. Yeah. So then their field of view gets less and less and less, and they're further away from the noise. But if they turn around and they see you, then they fucking run and jump in, dive in from the diving board and try to catch you.
Just outswim them.
Yeah. So if you get to the other side, you're safe. But then whoever gets tagged is it.
Why are there like? I think that's such a funny thing that there are just universal games like that had. Because we're on the opposite sides of the country. Yeah, and we both have the same exact we're in the pool game.
Where did that like? Who came up with this? Was it just like a parents thing? But like how does the information spread to
realistically?
Both our
it started with like one bored 10-year-old, and then
I guess, but there's no internet in my parents' childhood. Like how did your parents and my parents know about the same game and then teach it? Was it in a movie?
Maybe it's in a
TV
movie
show or something?
Who knows?
Like how does that happen?
I'm not doing a deep dive on categories in America.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
like nowadays you'd be like, oh, I found this game on TikTok, and like I know it, and it makes sense that the person in fucking Guatemala knows it too. But like,
I think it's a beautiful thing.
You in New York, or you in LA, and me in New York, both have the same childhood experience of playing the same game, even though we're from opposite ends of the country, and there was no internet when we were kids.
Dude,
like that's weird.
I can't wait till I grow up and I can say that I was at the dawn of world connectivity for my kids. Yeah, because they'd be like, my parents.
We don't remember.
They don't know about. I remember the internet developing.
Yeah, but you don't remember like dial up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like that's
boring. The beginning.
That's fair, but also kids don't care about that. I'm talking fucking peanut butter jelly time.
Yeah, I guess. Like 30-year-olds, like someone who's like 35 was like a kid when they were going through like dial up and like, you know, trying to download porn and it fucking loads like super slow.
Let me rephrase. Culture
connected
works. Culture, because the internet culture is essentially just world culture.
That was really like Wild West early days when we were kids. Yeah.
Internet culture is the new world culture. I feel like, because for the most part, like it doesn't matter. I think way more, especially than like the generation before us. Like I don't think our parents had a shared culture. I don't know if they went to a different country at all that they'd have a bunch to relate over.
What's the first like MySpace was like or like AOL Messenger and stuff. That if you were around with that, people. That's when like that's like the beginning of culture, right? Like what's before that? YouTube is 2004, and then like the first like popular
internet culture
stuff.
Definitely. I mean, that's where the first few memes at least start, and I think that's the definition of culture in some ways.
I mean, you were 2 years old, but I was 5 years old.
How good's your 5-year-old memory?
Not good.
I don't know. Do you know your first memory? I actually know my first memory.
No, mine's all convoluted with like pictures and home video that my mom gave to me. So I don't know what's my own memory and what I'm just remembering off the images I was shown as a more older person.
I like pretty early on, like at the very least, I think if I didn't actively try, my first memory would always slowly kind of like lag behind. You know what I mean? Like maybe when I was 10, my first memory was when I was 5. And when I'm 12, my first memory was when I was 6. Yeah. I think I kind of locked mine in at like still before I went to, so maybe like before preschool. When do people even go to preschool? Maybe a year or two before preschool. Yeah. It was me waking up. It was early. Me waking up, sun golden beaming into my room, and my mom saying, "Nathan, wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey." And I climbed up my bed and I was like, yes. And I went there and I ran into the kitchen. I'm just like, give me that bacon. And I ate all the bacon. And that was my first memory, because I remember, again, when I was like, this is when I was 10 or 12, I just wanted to remember it. And since that moment, I made a...
You've kept it. You had a mental note.
So I at least, at some point, I took a picture and I'm like, this is where it's going to be at least. So it won't degrade.
I was, as you were saying that, I was trying to think grade by grade, like what my memory is. And I have preschool memories that I don't know. They're not recorded or like, unless my mom maybe like told me them later on. But I remember this one kid who, I went to the same middle school as him because he was from like the south side of my town.
Yeah.
And our elementary schools were separated, but our middle schools were together, and then our high schools were also separated. In a really weird way the town's laid out. But
yeah.
we went to preschool together because I went to like a church preschool that was like way south.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going over his house and playing N64, but I don't remember what games it was, but I was like, this is fucking sick. Because all I had was like a PS1 at that, or like an NES or something at that point.
I think I already said my first game that I remember playing is Super Mario Brothers 3 in my cousin's house. But one of my first game memories in general is Pikmin. I went to one of my brother's friend's house. I just joined my mom to pick him up. And then I was like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we're playing Pikmin. And that was my first time seeing the game. I never owned it until we got Pikmin 3. Mm-hmm. For some reason, though, whenever I would bring this memory up, they'd be like, what do you mean? That never happened. We were playing Pikmin. And I'm like, how would I, as a kid, learned about Pikmin and watched these people play? I've been in this house. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. Dude, I think I got better memory than them.
I blame my cousin for opening me up to different video games because I was stuck on I was on NES games and like PS1 like Harry Potter games and shit like that.
Yeah.
Or like the Blue's Clues PS1 game that I had. I was playing that shit.
But when are we doing that, huh? Can we play the Blue's Clues?
I already made a video with doing this on my own channel.
Damn.
But
plugged.
At Christmas time, I would go to my grandma's house and all the cousins would meet up. And my older cousin, he's like, I want to say 6 or 7 years older than me. I don't really know. I think he's like 5 years older than me because I think he's a year younger than my sister. My sister's 6 years older. But he would bring his GameCube and he would destroy my ass in Melee like relentlessly. Which is why I have Melee's fond for me because I feel like people discover Melee and they're like teenage years and they're like, oh shit, this game's sick. I genuinely have like childhood memories of when the game was like new, like still fresh from just getting my ass kicked because he would play Marth and I'd be sitting there playing like Kirby or Roy. I'd play Roy a lot. Yeah, and he would just kick my fucking ass.
Me and my siblings did the fuck out of Melee. We had the GameCube in the car type deal, and so when Melee happened, anytime we're going anywhere, because it's still pretty short games too. So we just leave Melee in like in the
Melee
thing.
worked in the car 24/7. My family car had to like my dad set up screens that would like using the car battery in the back.
No, it was like it was goated. It was built in for my mom's van. Like it just had like a pop out screen, and then in the back of the car it had just like the 3 inputs, like the yellow, white, red. Yeah,
that's
you
busted.
Could just plug it in.
Like we had that, but it was only a Blu-ray DVD player at the front of the car.
It was so easy.
That's
so we literally just had to
crazy.
like, and it had the adapter too, so we could just plug it in. So we just plugged it in, and we just had it in there. So when the car turned on, we just go.
That's crazy.
Down,
what the
Melee.
fuck? We had like when we would go on road trips to like Florida.
Yeah.
My dad would hang monitors on the back of the seats in front of us.
That's actually
and then we have the Wii in the center.
Though.
You know, it's like a minivan, so like the back row 3, and then there's 2 seats. In between, there would be a blue crate, like one of those like moving crates or whatever, plastic.
Yeah. Moving tubs.
It would be full of snacks, first of all, and then on top of it would be the Wii, like sandwiched in between blankets, and then there's like a power supply sort of thing coming from the back of the car that I guess uses the car like the cigarette lighter shit, and then the monitors would have the inputs. So the power from the car would power the Wii, and the Wii would go into those monitors.
My dad would never be able to put that together. He would not understand how it works.
Dude, my dad was because that shit kept me entertained the entire drive. And then he would always pair it with like a new game he bought me right before the road trip. So
dude,
I would just be grinding. Dude.
Your dad's spoiling the shit out of you. He's like, dude, damn.
Animal Crossing. I think this one, literally this Animal Crossing. I remember playing it for the entire drive down because I was trying to catch like the best, like the summer fish, basically.
Yep.
Like I remember at one point it was like 8 or 9 p.m. and we were trying to look for a hotel, and my brother and sister were getting sleepy, and they kept yelling at me because I had this bright screen in the darkness, just like playing Animal Crossing fishing, and they kept complaining. My mom was like, "Dan, turn Animal Crossing off." I was like, "Dude, I just caught an arapaima, or whatever the hell it's called."
We had 3 pillars, which was Melee, Monkey Ball. And then Sonic Riders.
Sonic Riders I had on
we do
the
Double
Wii,
Dash, but honestly I think we did Sonic Riders more than we did Double Dash, just because I don't know, dude. We'd fuck that shit
Sonic
up.
Riders is fucking. I don't know how that game works. It's so weird. Like it's so like drifty and awful.
It's very slidey.
Yeah.
It's very slidey for sure.
I don't get how it works. I don't
and then you
remember.
can
I have to
the
play it and
characters
figure
make
it
a
out.
lot of noise. I just remember the entire time I'd
Do you
play
remember the green
Tails.
bird guy?
Yes.
That's what I would play. Jet,
You
I think his
played
name was.
Jet? Yeah,
Jet
yeah,
is
no, you
fucking
played-
him, bro.
No, but the fucking purple bird though's bad.
The purple bird. I
It's-
remember there's three
you don't-
characters. The pink bunny thing, or like
Pink bunny?
long ears thing.
You don't know any of the characters.
I don't remember. I just remember
So
Jet.
it's the regular
and
Sonic crew.
the purple one.
It's Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy.
Yeah, but then
I think there's Cream and whatever. That's like the rabbit. But like the new characters are Jet, the green bird.
Yeah, that's.
There's
I
the
remember.
big gray bird who I don't know.
Yes, that guy.
And then there's the purple bird.
They're all birds.
Yes,
I remember
and the purple bird has
but
like long hair. She's just like she's like
long hair. I remember it being ears. I remember I'm
no,
just wrong.
it's hair. But damn, she's bad.
I gotta look up this. Hey,
Look up
34th
right,
rule.
I'm telling you right now. Look up right now.
On the 34th
Look
rule.
up purple bird. Do it.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Damn it! I want it. I just wanted your opinion.
I'm
I
not
want to know
into
if she's
feather.
bad.
I'm not a feathery.
Okay, well I'm not a. Is
I
that
just like Jet. I just like how there's a green guy now. He's green. And he
He's
has a beak.
green.
He's cool.
Well, I liked playing Tails, but the issue with Tails
would
in
like-
any of these, I identify with Tails.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like I feel. Do you identify with any of the characters, or is it just Jet?
Jet, he's badass.
Do you know you know his whole character? He's like an annoying piece of shit, right?
What do you think I am? It makes sense. It's 1-to-1.
I think that's the same with Tails, though. I think he's also annoying, but he's just not. I don't think he's a
Tails
piece
is
of
a whiny little bitch because he's the
No.
smart little scientist one, and he's always like, "Sonic, be careful." It's like, shut the fuck up, Tails. It's a
See, it's
video
just
game.
like. See, I think
Fucking Tails, man.
we should cosplay.
Yeah, you want me to be Jet? Does
And
he have
I'd be-
goggles on his head too?
He does
like
have
the aviator
goggles. Yeah,
goggles.
he's got some.
Dude, he's so
sick
sick,
ass.
so badass. I love how he doesn't appear in any other game too.
No, yeah,
it's just Riders.
It's just him, and
These
it's
bird idiots.
really funny because I'm like, I don't know. The intro for that though, the intro animatic was
don't
so
remember.
sick. I can't even. This is just like random shit now. This is me going on because I've always loved animation, and I just really like the animation of the opening like intro. We're gonna get you.
Did that game have a
speed.
Wii version or a PS2 version?
It had a Wii version that came out after. It was a sequel. They came out for the
It was
Wii.
a sequel.
Yeah.
I think I had the original, but I don't think it was on GameCube. I
You
think,
probably played it. You probably had the GameCube and you loaded it on the Wii. Because
No,
remember, the GameCube can load the Wii can load.
no,
GameCube
because I remember
games.
I don't remember it being on GameCube because I would remember
It was
the
on
case.
GameCube.
I would
It was
remember
on
the
Game-
disc case.
It was on GameCube.
Are you sure it wasn't on PS2?
I'm telling you, I never
I
had
swear
a
it's on
PS2. Never had a PS2. Never had. It's never had a PS2.
How much you want to bet it's on PS2?
It probably is also on
Sonic
PS2.
Riders PS2. It is on PS2.
Okay,
That's
but that
what I
is.
played it on.
Well, I didn't play it on
GameCube.
that. Well, I didn't play it on that.
I don't remember it being on GameCube at all. Which I guess it
maybe
makes sense.
maybe I'm crazy. I mean,
It probably was,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Did Sega games? Weren't Sega and Nintendo like beefing? Like, wouldn't they not put it on Nintendo
No,
systems?
they pretty much
They squashed it by
after.
Or Sega already
stopped
fucked
putting
up?
out consoles.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they always have to put it out someplace,
Yeah.
and their number one demographic is with Nintendo fans. Like they're the biggest overlap,
Yeah.
way more than like PS gamers or Xbox gamers.
It was on PS2, and I definitely played on PS2.
yeah, they usually do all platform releases for Sega. Nintendo's the only one who doesn't.
I probably played it before the Wii even came out, and because I went from PS1 to PS2 to
Yeah.
Wii to Xbox 360. Like that was the pipeline.
Interesting.
So if it was before the Wii and it was on GameCube, then I probably got it for PS2 100%.
That's pretty much Nintendo the entire way. I think we had one PS4 and we had PS4 and Xbox One. That's what we had. That's the only other variants outside of every other Nintendo product. We had the Wii,
Yeah.
Wii U, Switch, the 3DS, the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I
had a Game Boy Advance, and I played like every fucking game like relentlessly on that thing.
we had so many different Game Boys. Honestly, I will say we were really spoiled kids in the sense where it's like I feel like every year,
Weren't they cheap, the fucking Game Boy
they were
games?
really expensive,
Yeah.
but it was just like
No, they
every
weren't-
year
no, they
something.
weren't. The Game Boy games? Game Boy games aren't
Oh,
expensive.
not the games, the Game Boys. Because I was gonna
Oh,
say
the Game
like
Boys, yeah.
every like a year or two would buy, and then like one of the screens would just like not stop working or some
Wait,
shit.
really? Mine still works to this day.
We were grimy kids.
Oh, okay.
I think we were just bad.
If I
at
go
it.
home and the Game Boy Advance is in my brother's room drawer, I think, and it definitely still works to this day. But like I think my parents must have gone and like, what probably happened is my brother and sister and I were like, let's go to GameStop, and then they would buy us like a used Game Boy game, because we have like a gallon bag full of Game Boy games. Like, you know, like the gallon Ziploc bags, you know, like the big square ones.
You just keep all your games in a Ziploc bag? That's
we had that full of Game Boy games. Also, well, some of them were like the big square ones from the Game Boy Color.
I like the big square ones.
Because my dad had a Game Boy Color, so he had a couple games. Like, I had Pokemon Yellow growing up.
Dude, I had Pokemon Green.
What the hell?
Yeah, which apparently was regional. It didn't come out in the US.
Isn't it the updated one?
I think it's
That's
the
Leaf
new
Green?
Yeah, I had Leaf Green, which I didn't know was rare because I got it when we went to like a fucking swap meet, and I'm like, ooh, green. There's blue and red, so I'm like, I've never heard of green before.
Well, there's blue, red, and yellow, which is the first Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Then they basically made like a remastered, or not remastered, but like a second version that's Fire Red, Leaf Green, and whatever the blue one was.
Yeah.
I don't remember the blue one.
I think the green one.
I don't think they did a blue one.
Am I
secondary.
insane? Maybe I just got the boring green one then.
You got the second first gen. I got the first gen. Pokemon Yellow was in black and white, and it was, you get Pikachu, and then you're fucked because the rock gym's first, and then
Pikachu!
You know, when I was a kid, I never got past the fucking first gym because I had Pikachu.
You're bad at the game. I don't know.
I didn't know you could catch a Rattata, and Rattata would have a fucking water gun.
You could just level up your Pikachu more.
He's as shit is ineffective against the rock. I'm fighting Onyx here, okay? I'm not getting past
He's
that.
got tackle. It's a
It
normal
doesn't work.
move.
Trust
It's
me,
a normal. It's
my
got tackle.
kitty brain did not get past that. But basically,
kitty brain could hold the A button 5 times in a row.
It doesn't work.
You just do tackle.
Telling you, those
just do tackle.
Brutal old
you
games
just
are
do
brutal.
Tackle.
You cannot beat a rock with Pikachu with tackle. It doesn't work. You have to get Rattata and get water gun.
Not true. You absolutely can just tackle
It doesn't work.
The Geodude.
He's got like 2 Geodudes and an Onyx.
Just level up your Pikachu.
A level 50 Pikachu is with lightning attacks and tackle.
Onyx was like level 20. Level 50 tackle, it's going to do that. It's going to win.
I don't know about level 50, but it takes a while to get to level 50 when you're fighting
too.
level 3 Rattatas.
Did you ever tail whip? Tail whip brings down defense.
You're going to die quicker than
tail whip brings down defense.
Kill them, Nathan.
You have potions.
I
never use potions. I don't use potions, but...
You're actually delusional if you think that's going to work. But this was all to say that I had a lot of random, like crazy, just all over the place games in that gallon bag that are just like one was called like The Spot, and you play as a red circle, and it's like a platformer.
Oh, you just got like random.
Yeah, like literally like the most random fucking games are in that bag. Like it's crazy.
So it sounded that. Was that just your dad just going out and randomly buying games?
My dad had a bunch of Game Boy Color games that we already had, but I'm telling you, we definitely like after like a church or something, we'd be like, let's go to GameStop, and like they would buy us used like $1 to $5 like Game Boy games,
the
like a new game for us to
like
play.
as customer center, just like I don't want this game, and the employee's like I've never heard of this before.
You remember those glass cases that just had Game Boy games? They were all like max $20 for like the popular ones. Like they probably were just like, oh, these are all used Game Boy games, sure, because they used to do we used to get used games like a lot. Like I used to get like random dog shit like PS2 used games or like Wii used games like that were just awful fucking malware, but it like I was like, I want a new game and this cover looks good, and I would just my parents would be like, it's like $5, whatever, it'll shut them up for like a day or two. Man,
we should try to find a haunted game one day. We should just start going to somewhere, go to swap meet, get like a random fucking shitty game.
Dude, remember the golden what is it, the golden Majora's Mask cartridge, and it has the have you ever seen this? It's like an old like horror meme on like Reddit.
Oh, wait, like Ben drowned.
Yes.
Ben drowned.
And it's the statue, the cursed like statue is like the only thing you see when you load up the gold like Majora's Mask
for
or whatever.
Halloween, do you want to just make a fake Ben drowned or something where we just like we pull up like a horror ROM of just like a regular old game? We're like, hey, today we're just playing regular Mario 64.
Should we do October horror month and play only scary games and then do that?
I'd be so down. I'm actually really bad with horror games.
So am I. Like if we play Outlast, I will shit myself.
It's just gonna be me screaming and be like, go, 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 go. I'm not looking.
I guess I'm gonna be the one playing. That's gonna be so much anxiety.
No, okay. We could swap off whenever we die.
No, it makes sense because I can watch horror games. Like I remember I did this on stream a couple times where I'd have my friends over and play horror games. And like when I'm not playing, I'm just sitting there. Like maybe I'm a little recoiled, but like I can like premature. But when like I'm like immersed and zoned in and I'm like leaning forward, like actually controlling the character, I freak the fuck out and like I hate it.
For me, this is just like also the same with like just watching horror. If there's any like tense moment, I think it's even more so games than like horror movies. Like if I'm watching a horror Let's Play and it's like PewDiePie or something, and I know the guy's right behind him and like chasing him down. If he does not do perfect movement, he's gonna fuck up. I'm literally in my bed rolling. I'm like, fuck, I don't trust him. He's gonna fuck this shit up. Nah. It's gonna jump scare.
I'll do the slight lean maybe, where if it's like I think a jump scare is coming, I'll just be like this, and then if it comes, I'll be like, okay. Fucking it, and then I'll roll my eyes, but like it doesn't get me that bad. If I'm playing though, I am shitting my pants.
I'm not gonna lie, there might be a time or two where like I'll be watching a video and I'm like they'll have their camera in the corner and I'll just do like a classy L shape to where it's just their like, face cam. You can only see their face cam. And I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, ooh, and it just like lights up for a second.
There's a big difference between playing and watching. Like watching, it's way more easier to handle because you're not in control. Like when you're playing, it's like you're doing everything to avoid it, so you don't know when it's coming, but like when you're watching, you have like you're not distracted by inputs or like purpose, so you're just watching and you can avoid it. It's like
that's one of the things that one of my ideas for early on that I wanted to do for a YouTube channel. I was like, what would I do? Was just like play random horror games.
That's just basically what PewDiePie did to make it to the top. Fair. So you were on the right track.
I don't think I'd get like better. I'd just stay bad.
You just stay scared.
I think
PewDiePie got pretty immune to it by the end.
Yeah, I think he got really annoyed of having to do horror, and then he switched to Happy Wheels.
That's gonna be it for this week.
It's over.
Make sure you get your breasts checked because it is Pink Day.
We didn't even talk about breasts that much.
Yeah, we love them. We'll do the what's it called? The handsome fella. And he's like, what do you think about boobs? And he's like, honka honka. Need I say more? But yeah, get your shit checked so you don't have cancer. Happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's the pink episode.
Pink episode, baby.
Bozo Show is gone. Good night. Good evening.
Nerd. This is the worst one yet.
Well, don't fucking downplay our damn podcast in the ending note, you prick.